and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 351 for the week of, whatever this is, April 17th, still 2018. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
The trunks are back. Bryce Larsen.
Scott Shea.
Toby.
And Charlie.
Jim's off mic. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
It's a fuck. Why are there so many people here? What is going on?
We can get if we get another chair. We can
little
get in
comic book
mics,
called
people will be
Action 1000.
The trunks are back, baby.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. First of all, thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone that listened to our Scott Snyder interview last week. I have to comment briefly on the quality of some of the audio parts. So here's what happened.
Wait, is this a briefly? Bryce should start.
Yes,
talking.
here's what happened.
Well, this is what happened.
Audacity, which is a program we use to record, and a lot of people use to record podcasts with, and Skype do not always go well together. Basically what happens is Skype has an option that'll basically, if it is quiet, it makes it louder. If it's loud, it quiets it down. The problem is when none of us are talking, Skype's like, jack the volume to the max, right?
Do you know there's a checkbox you can do to tell it not to do that?
Yes. And unfortunately, I didn't realize that was happening till we were in the middle of recording the podcast. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to edit this after the podcast. So I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning cutting out big chunks of it. But clearly, it was
Big chunks of it? What'd you cut out?
No, editing out
all of your parts, Toby.
Basically, when we were talking, when we were not talking, I was going through and editing out all of our. I was just muting our dialogue. I clearly missed more points than I anticipated because trust me, I took out the really bad ones.
Yeah, well, case in point, I was actually on the episode, and Higgins did such a good job editing that he edited out every single thing that I said and every single answer that Scott Snyder replied with, including his intro of me at the beginning of the episode. I even got Scott Snyder to admit that Marvel is better, and he edited it all out.
It's all gone.
Thanks, Higgins.
It's all gone.
God.
So, yes, I will remember to unclick that box next time we record with Scott or anyone else. I think this happened when we had Julian on one time, Julian Titus. It happened one other time, and I was like, what is up with the audio on this?
Well,
and that's when I figured it out. Yeah. So, but
when I record Wanderers and I have Audacity open, I kind of stare at the little...
Well, and
you can see the microphone will like jump up and down as it's adjusting.
Right, that's what was happening because of Skype. And I did not realize that was somehow clicked again when it hadn't been for a while. So, again, apologies, but hopefully the interview was worth it. We are going to talk about a bunch of stuff tonight, but we're going to start with sales charts because we didn't get to do that last time.
Sales charts.
Bryce's favorite.
Oh. Dude, you keep on maligning me, and now you're just giggling like a.
It's actually Toby's least favorite part of this podcast.
Is.
Other than showing up for the podcast, it's Toby's least favorite part of this podcast. Other than not falling on the ground.
I would say that we almost deserve Toby a standing O for even showing up on time, which is like, when's the last time that happened?
He was early. You were late if anyone was late.
He's normally here on time.
I was talking to my mother, and nobody can blame anybody for talking to their mother.
That's fine. Talk to your mother more. We have
go outside right now. Give her a call.
We have
puberty.
Everyone should talk to their mothers more.
Yeah, I agree.
If you talk to your mother, that
Oh
is.
yeah, and or if you want to.
Yeah, we have the March 2018 comic book sales charts to North American comics shops. Estimated sales to comic shops, not how many comics. The comic shop sold.
No matter how you say it,
7
you can't
asterisks.
make it sound interesting.
It's very interesting.
No.
We have the top 10 comics for March 2018. Who wants to start guessing some titles?
Batman.
There's actually one or two in here I don't think anyone's going to guess.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, Batman. We will have Batman 42.
I was first, Charlie.
I don't care.
We have Batman.
You went DC and I went Marvel.
We have Batman 42. Is the number 5 book at 93,000 copies. The Batman 43 is the number 8 book at 91,000 copies. We also have Dark Knight Metal, if you want to count that as a Batman book, which I think is. Dark Knight Metal number 6, the final issue, released the last week of the month, same day as Doomsday Clock number 4, was the number 1 book of the month at 187,000 copies, which compared to a lot of recent events, that ended on a real high note. Like, close to 200,000 copies the entire run. Over, obviously, for number 1. So, yeah, huge numbers for Metal.
So you said Doomsday Clock.
Of course. Number 4, Doomsday Clock, 149,000 copies, the number 2 book. Now, I love Doomsday Clock. I love Jeff Johns. I think the delays are going to start hurting this book. We're already starting to see bigger drops than I would have anticipated. Doomsday Clock will remain in the top 10 the entire run of the entire run of the title, but I could see some people starting to come back for 5 and 6. I know we're cutting back pretty severely. It's still selling. I mean, stupid good, just not as much as we were ordering. So 4 was kind of the issue that I realized, we need to start cutting back more than we had.
Okay, so Charlie said Amazing Spider-Man. Did you answer that?
Amazing Spider-Man $7.97, first appearance of Red Goblin. Spoilers. 128,000 copies, the number 3 comic of the month. Good to see Spider-Man back up there. And this is what happens, Marvel, when you have variant covers that we can order as many as we want for the most part. And when you tell us important stuff is happening, you get the number 3 book of the month. Thank you, Marvel.
Good job, Marvel. Number 1 comic publisher.
Yep. Who else got a guess?
Oblivion Song.
Oblivion Song number 1. 80,000 copies.
Was that because you had it on your checkout shelf? Was that the sole reason?
I didn't sell 80,000.
Wait, what number was it
was
again?
the number 9 comic
number
of
9? That's
March.
very good.
Yeah, well, I actually think that's low. Mm-hmm. I think they probably printed 125,000. I think they printed more.
That's Image?
Yeah.
What is Skybound? Is that like an imprint?
It's Kirkman's imprint.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's the part that Kirkman owns.
Got it.
Gideon Falls hit it?
No, not in top 10.
That was my next guess.
So we have, let's start from the bottom. Number 10. Oh, well, sorry. Technically, number 10 is a Batman book as well. Batman White Knight, number 6.
Really?
Yeah, that's always been in the top 10. 75,000 copies.
I'm really liking the story. I'm surprised, even though it's a Batman book, that it's a top 10.
White Knight has been a huge hit for DC, to the point that Sean Murphy's all but announced that he's going to have White Knight 2. He's basically going to have the Murphyverse.
Yeah.
He's going to have his own little line of comics.
That is really cool.
For him, yeah.
Loving the story.
If he can do 8 issues a year, like take a few months off and come back with like another 8-issue miniseries, take a few months off, 8-issue miniseries, awesome.
He'll have an incredibly good selling book, and he'll still be writing more than BKV.
Yeah. Oof. Man, I made some vague tweet on Twitter about this, but
that doesn't sound like you at all. Said nobody.
I believe they call it subtweet. Barrier, the 5-issue miniseries by Brian K. Vaughan. It's coming out. It's a digital first comic that's now getting a limited print run. 5 issues weekly, oversized, sideways, and half in Spanish. Man, if there are 3 things that are going to kill a book from selling, it's oversized, sideways, and half in a foreign language.
Don't forget, there's not going to be a graphic novel of it.
Yeah, bullshit.
I don't even run a comic shop, and I could have listed those exact 3 things as what do you hate in comics the most.
Yeah.
And oversized and sideways are easily my top 2.
Yeah.
Spanish, I don't parlay Espanol, so that would have been difficult anyway.
We got the free comic day book in, and I went, oh no. Well, I didn't order that many, so that's okay. And it was on FOC, and I cut way back. So I gave it to everyone that got Saga. Handful of copies for the wall. We'll see what happens. And bullshit, there will be a hardcover collection of this down the road, just like Private Eye.
What were they? What were they claiming that there wouldn't be?
Yeah, Brian
they claimed Private Eye wouldn't have a hardcover also, and of course it got a hardcover.
Yeah, Brian K. Vaughan said that it'll never be collected.
Wait, you didn't get this from me. I get Saga. Oh.
Huh?
It's not out yet.
Have you checked your Comic Hub account or the emails that Comic Hub sends you?
No, you send me too many emails. You send me at least one per week.
Emails in Comic Hub, and they're all wrong.
Comic Hub
just go straight
There's
to my
like
spam
books
folder.
I bought like months ago, and it keeps giving me like a giant list of fucking books I already bought.
When?
Like last week.
Toby's so angry.
You got you a list of books you bought?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The Comic Hub emails.
Comic Hub has actually been all right for me.
When I put in the order form for like June's order?
I don't know what you do.
Well, there was 1 week it acted weird.
Yeah.
And then everything
that was for
fine
everyone's account, system-wide.
Mine was more of a joke about how I get 1 email per week, i.e. it's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
Comic Hub has actually been fine. It's just my laziness of going in and updating my account.
Yeah, no. If you were a sub to Saga, I sent you an email that said, hey, I'm going to put you down for Barrier. Let me know if you don't want it.
Well, you didn't put it on me, but...
You're so all in on this Comic Hub thing.
It's the future, baby.
No, it's not. It's horrible future.
I disagree with Toby on this one. I love Comic Hub.
No.
Comic Hub. I mean, who were we talking to yesterday?
James Sim.
James from
Isotope up in San Francisco.
Oh,
Yeah, he's going to Comic Hub too.
Let it because of Ryan Higgins. He is.
Yeah.
Give it a month. He's going to start Ryan Higgins.
Everybody
Screw him.
but Toby loving Comic Hub.
Now, to give James some credit, like I've been to Isotope maybe 4 times ever, and I walked in, and he was like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah.
Like he knew who I was.
Oh, sure.
But did he say your name or did he just say, "Oh hey"?
He was, "Oh, hey."
I oh hey you,
It's
Toby.
pretty
Okay,
close.
like, I don't know the hell your name is.
Shea is your last name, right? Hey.
The S is silent.
Yeah. We have a couple more books to hear. We got 10, we got 9, we got 8. We don't have 7, we don't have 6, we don't have 4. 7. It's a Marvel book. Bryce bought it. I know that.
Cable.
Yeah, no.
The most recent.
I said top 10, not top 100. Or bottom 100,
No,
sorry.
not X-Men Red. It must be X-Men Gold.
It's an event. It's an event book going on right now. Hashtag no events for 18 months.
No, it is not Venomized or whatever.
I know. Grumpy Cat.
Yes, it is Grumpy Cat. The
Yeah,
Marvel
knew it.
comic Grumpy Cat.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? You are.
Grumpy
You're
Cat. Have you read it? It's awesome.
What about Infinity?
Infinity.
You get the fuck off your phone. Okay, bullshit. Close those tabs.
I haven't even cheated yet.
Infinity Countdown #1. Countdown to Infinity Crisis #1. 93,000 copies.
Oh, I thought this was an X-Men book.
Lots of variant. Oh no, I got an X-Men book to talk about with you in a minute though.
Really? Is it
yeah.
Rogue and Gambit?
Oh, that's a good book.
Number 6. It's a Marvel comic.
Rogue and Gambit.
It involves
Just kidding.
it involves an art germ variant cover, which represents probably 60% of the sales.
Thor.
Yeah, Thor number 705, 93, Death of Mighty Thor. Spoiler alert.
She does?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you kidding?
It's the number 6 book.
I bought it because the cover is nice.
Now, number 4.
She's been dying for several years now.
Number
I didn't
4.
know it actually happened finally.
You got to see that coming.
Number 4 proves how broken the sales charts really are and how screwed up Marvel's ability to get people to buy absolute garbage, and then by issue 2 the sales tank incredibly. Number 4 book of the month, just a hair shy of 100,000 copies. Who's got it?
Was it a Loot Crate thing?
No.
Grumpy Cat number 2.
What on earth are you even? What is this Grumpy Cat thing? Is this a joke or is this a real
No,
thing?
it's an actual comic.
You're full of shit. Is
no,
it
it's
Exiles #1?
No.
That was this month.
Yeah, we'll see what Exiles is in the April charts.
It was a new
Oh,
number
that's
1.
right. It's already halfway through April.
No, Damnation, I don't think ever. Maybe number 1
Damnation's
charted.
not bad.
Thanos.
No, it's a number 1.
No.
Is it a number 1?
Ooh, it is number 1.
Oh God, what number 1s came out?
Thanos 17. Did you jump up
It
to
is
number
not
33?
New Mutants Dead Souls.
No. Thanos number 1.
Thank God. That
Thanos
was
17.
hot garbage. Can we talk about how bad New Mutants Dead Souls was?
Thanos number 17 actually did jump way up the charts to number 33. I think it was like a 65 the month prior. So
Was it
yeah,
Domino
Thanos
number
is
1?
doing really good. No, that just came out.
Why is Domino #1 not in my box?
I don't know.
That is a Comic Hub fail.
Yeah.
No, in the old days, you would have just put
Bryce,
it in my box.
If you go to customer.comichub.com and you click on
Oh
the
my
next week
God!
tab,
Fucking
you'll be able to see all the books.
Mike at Ryan.
No,
You'll be able to
I
see
used
all the
to
books
be-
in your
This
comic
is
book.
why I hate Ryan. Used to be such a good customer service guy. He used to take care of all the people. Now he's always like, "Go fucking Comic Hub.
Yeah.
Fucking sign up at Comic Hub." Fuck
Yeah.
you, Ryan Higgins. You used to look out for the people. You used to look out for the people.
I actually should have put Domino in your box because I still
You should have. You
Yeah,
used to be a
but
good
since
customer.
he switched over to
No.
Comic Hub, he doesn't do that kind of
You know
shit
what?
no
I'm
more.
on Toby's side now.
Yeah.
Comic Hub is the worst. I used to love Comic Hub, and now I hate Comic Hub. You've become a shadow of the man you once were, and that wasn't
Absolutely.
even very much of anything.
I absolutely do still manually pull lots of people books.
No.
Well, you did.
But
because Domino.
Bryce, let me put it this way: I don't think I pulled this for you, and I don't think you've complained about it yet.
But you said it comes out tomorrow?
No, number 1, it came out in March.
In March?
Yes, this is a Marvel comic. I don't know if you bought it or not. I don't remember.
Oh, we're not talking about Domino anymore.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I don't
Old
think.
Man Hawkeye?
No.
No.
Oh,
would've
that
been
was
month
really
before.
good. Old Man Hawkeye is really good. You should
New
go buy
Mutants
it.
Dead Soul number 1 did come out at number 15, though, at 54,000 copies.
Oh, God. I'd love to talk about that
It's
one.
It's technically an X-Men comic.
Is it Legion by Cy Superior?
No.
X-Men Red.
Thank God.
No. For the 7th time, neither of those titles.
Grand Design didn't come out, did it?
No. What?
Weapon X.
Nope. It is technically an
Weapon
X-Men book.
H?
Weapon H number 1.
Oh God, that
Like when that came out, I just said no. Worst comic ever.
Wait a minute. That's why are you disparaging the X line by saying that it's even associated with that?
It is.
It is not.
Weapon H.
It is. It's all they took all mutant powers to make Weapon H.
It's a Weapon X spinoff
I read
book.
the story, which makes one of us, Brock.
I read it's Weapons
awful.
of Mutant Destruction.
Weapon H. 98,000 copies, the number 4 book of the month from the
Holy
top.
moly.
Metal number 6, Doomsday Clock 4, Spider-Man 797, Weapon H number 1, Batman 42. Weapon H fucking outsold Tom King's Batman. Get the fuck out of my face. Mighty Thor 705, Infinity Countdown 1, Batman 43, Oblivion Song 1, and White Knight number 6.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard. The worst.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Weapon H outsold.
There's like 90,000 variant
Batman.
covers. That's why. Yeah.
Can you give us some context? What stars aligned? What physical and chemical events took place for this to happen?
Like 12 variant covers?
Bryce,
I mean, I'll pull up a list
you have
here.
to admit that's terrible.
Yeah, I read it. I don't like it, and I love the X-Men. I love the X-Men more than my children. Wow. I love you guys in the future when you go back and listen to this.
Some other books that were on that list. Maybe I should pull up Weapon H number 1. H number 1. Well, that's loading. Let's see.
I defy you. It is not. There's no X-Men title.
Daredevil 600, 67,000 copies, a number 12 comic. Good bump for Daredevil.
That should have been up there above Weapon H.
To show the
in
power.
fact, literally everything that we've said should be above Weapon H.
To show the power of reprints, True Believers,
including Grubby Cat.
True Believers Venom vs. Spider-Man, which is a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 300, was the number 13 comic at 65,000 copies. The dollar reprint.
Wow.
We ordered 200 copies, something like that. 200 copies. Yeah. Don't screw around with those reprints. They're
Is
amazing.
it because of the love of the classic story, or is it because of the Todd McFarlane art?
I mean, it's because it's the dollar reprint of the first appearance of Venom.
Yeah, and that book is normally how much?
Well, how does that even factor in?
I mean,
it's in trades
like
for super cheap for like several years now, decades.
Yeah, but it's. I just want that issue. I want to read that issue. It's $1 versus 600.
I don't understand who these people are that are buying this. Like, you won't buy the trade. You haven't read the story yet.
A lot of True Believer issues on Sundays.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Okay.
And they sell forever. Basically, they don't have a shelf life. That
What I'm
limits them at
wondering, if you listen to the original question that I asked,
What's coming out of your mouth?
is are these normals seemingly that are buying these dollar variants? Is it because the cover looks awesome because Todd McFarlane hasn't done a Marvel cover in forever, just like Jim Lee is known to sell a comic or two? Or is it because, I know the story, I want the single issue, and I haven't read it before?
Couple speculators.
It's $1.
It's a couple speculators because
What speculators are like, $1? This is going to go.
A lot of those
more.
True Believers, the print runs are really low.
Yeah.
So a lot of speculators have started grabbing them because they're also $1 and they can flip them really fast. But also, it's randos walk in and they're like, "Hey, $1 comic, cool, I'll buy that."
And have you looked at all like Walking Dead? Those Image Firsts.
Yeah, we sell them by the cases.
The first time they did that, it's a $20 book now.
What on earth is happening? Who are these trolls in their dungeons that are buying these and flipping these things?
A lot of people. Terrifics number 2 fell all the way down to 34,000 copies after number 43 book. But the number 44 book is Gideon Falls number 1. Brock was just talking about that. So good stuff. Let's take a look at the total dollars and all this nonsense.
Gideon Falls went to a second print.
Yeah, they did do a second print on that. Yep. The top 300 comics sold 6.08 million copies. We are down same month versus last year. But we're still kind of in a bit of a recovery.
Do they ever do a yearly list?
Yeah, end of the year. Yep. Or like February.
sense.
We did it.
I'm
we talked
really-
about it.
We do it at the end of every year, Charlie.
Well, no. The reason I'm curious is because the way they kind of combine the different covers of the same price point. I'm curious where stuff like Thanos would fall when you deal with 4th and 5th and 6th printings on some of these.
In the year-end list, those get added in.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have to imagine though that for Thanos, 2nd and 3rd printings, that wouldn't necessarily over the course of a year wouldn't necessarily bump it that much.
The Thanos books are selling.
I'm happy to be wrong.
Pretty
Is that
crazy
not the
amounts
case?
in the reprints. I'm selling as many of the reprints as it was the main.
Yeah, but you probably order fucking very little of the original for like Thanos. Like, how many does your store, other than subs, do you order shelf copies of Thanos?
Now we're getting like 50 or 60 copies of Thanos.
What?
Yeah, Thanos is a hot book right now, real hot.
And I mean, the reason why I brought that up is just because we've talked about like Thanos is the number 44 book this month, but when you start factoring in all the different printings,
what would it have been?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't measure that because, like, what would it have been? People are buying it, like, weeks and months later. Maybe they didn't have the pocket change for it. If they had known how cool it was going to be that week, maybe it's up against weaker competition or stronger competition.
These are all stuff that basically means that comic shops sold out of it, so it had to go to another printing, another printing, another printing.
Okay, that's a good point.
As I said, I'm really curious where some of these lower but respectable print runs that go to second printings and third printings, would those have...
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I
jumped from 35 to potentially 22 or something.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That would be a very cool story. But like, didn't we decide a couple of years ago like that didn't really impact Vision as much as we would have liked to think that it would have?
Vision didn't really get reprints.
Yeah.
What? Why not?
They never really reprinted Vision.
I mean, all they did is they went. Yeah, they did the director's cut.
Did the director's cuts count towards the same thing? Probably not.
They shouldn't. No.
They shouldn't.
No,
they were
because
a different price point, and they were not. Yeah. And they were combining issues like 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there were like half the issues for the director's cut.
That's too bad.
6 versus 12.
Makes sense, but too bad.
To continue here, graphic novel dollar sales down 42% versus same time last month. So yeah, a lot of people look at the comics.
Well, wait, what happened last year?
Well, just year to date, the graphic novel sales are down 22% versus last year.
Oh, not this month.
They were
not
down
in March, but year to date.
In March, they are down 42% versus same month previous year. Year to date, they are down 22%, same month versus previous year. So for everyone complaining about comic sales, graphic novels ain't doing too much better. Or actually, they're doing way worse. So graphic novels for a weird couple years.
What happened last March?
Could have been a Saga. Could have been a Walking
Grumpy
Dead.
Cat trade.
Well, plus a lot of the early Rebirth trades would have been about a year ago, wouldn't
they? Yeah. So total combined top 300 comics
single issues
and top 300 graphic novels were down 20% versus March last year. Overall, everything down 16%, same from last year. Marvel with 38.38% of the overall units. DC at 35.1%. Image at 10.43%. Everyone else taking up the bottom, like 10%. Let's go down to more top 300. Marvel at 89 books in the top 300. DC at 85. Image at 38. IDW at 22. And in the top 300... where's my list? Go back to it. Let's try this again. Share of units in the top 300 comics. Marvel at 41.96%. DC at 38.04%. Image at just under 10%. So that's we're kind of getting back to normal numbers for Marvel and DC. Although the next few months should be really crazy with Batman 50 and Action 1000 and Black Panther and Cap and the Marvel Fresh Start stuff. So. Share of dollar amount in the top 300, Marvel at 42.65%, DC at 36.26%, Image at 9.43%. And when you add everything in... Yeah.
Did Marvel have a sale again?
I don't know. I don't think so. DC actually released more graphic novels.
No sale, so they're just straight up better. Okay.
DC released actually more graphic novels in March than Marvel. DC released 35, Marvel did 33. IDW did 18. Man, Dark Horse had 14, Image, as it says here, only had 13. That actually seems pretty low for Image. So,
Is that a typo? Must be in Comic Hub.
Yeah. Close. So interesting month. We're definitely down. You can see the chart falls under 50,000 pretty quick. I mean, that's kind of that sweet spot for comics. You want to stay above that 50,000 spot, and they go under by the 21st book. X-Men Red, number 2, 49,000 copies, already under that 50,000 copies.
Yeah, it's because it's awful.
Is it? I haven't read them yet.
Number 1 was like, oh man, I'll give you a second issue, and dude, it's it's killing me. It's not as good as I would like it to be. We'll just say.
We're gonna move on. I do have one thing I want to talk about, and then I'm exhausted.
Oh God. Pull your head out of your ass.
I'm exhausted. We've been busting ass all week. We were shipping all our Action Comics
I'm about
1000.
to sell thousands of dollars of comics from my local comic shop. Oh, this podcast will suffer because I'm so tired. My name's Old Man Higgins.
I'm working, 9 a.m. to 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, welcome to being a fucking
shift.
dad with a full-time job. Like, that's nothing.
But Bryce, since you're here...
Oh, I am here. That's true. Just like I was last year.
This is for you.
Sorry, last week.
This is for you, Toby and Jim.
Huh?
Your favorite comic of 2018 has been announced today by Marvel Comics. You ready?
Nightwing and Gambit.
Precipitously.
This is on the Marvel's official solicitation,
Okay.
which launched
Is it
today.
Grumpy Cat?
Which came out today.
Yeah! Favorite book of all.
It is called X Classified, #1.
Okay, I already like it. Is it X-classified?
It's actually X Space Classified, which is a little weird.
Not
but
as good. Not
yeah,
as good.
yeah,
Not as
yeah.
good. It's already taken a hit, but that's good because it lowers my expectations.
It
Keep
is
going.
written by Classified.
That is definitely not good because it could be Cy Superior.
The art is by Classified.
Oh, it could be JRJR. I'm so terrified. It's probably going to be terrible.
The covers.
Chase Scott Campbell.
The cover is by Classified.
What?
Oh.
Right.
Oh, but the variant is by
Who's
Jason.
the other rectangle fingers that could beat me in arm wrestling barely? Greg Capullo. It's probably by him.
Now-
we're trying to
God.
set that up, by the way.
Terrible.
Now, there is a variant cover
I'm
by J.
serious, we're
Scott
trying to
Campbell.
set that up.
I admit defeat already.
Whatever this book is, there's a variant cover by J. Scott Campbell, a Virgin variant cover by J. Scott Campbell.
What is Virgin variant? What is that?
No
It's like
no text.
nakedness.
No
Oh,
text.
that's
No
so
text.
tacky.
Variant cover B by J. Scott Campbell, Virgin variant cover B by J. Scott Campbell, and a variant cover by Scotty Young.
So it must be the worst book of all time.
Wait, this
That's
sounds like
gonna
the
sell
best book of
it's-
all time.
It's
What?
going to sell a shitload of copies because of the covers alone.
And what is the
Oh, that's a great
description?
call.
What is the description of the comic?
Classified.
Classified. So
So I'm curious. Do you
I want-
think
I
the
want
book
all
is actually
covers.
called X Classified, or do you think they're not even revealing the name of the book?
at this point, it doesn't matter what the book is because it has 4 J. Scott Campbell variant covers. So I've already ordered like 1,000 copies. Like, it doesn't matter what this book is.
Is
What
Right?
do I have to do to get every copy? Because it's obviously
Assuming these are open order.
the new team book starring Hope as the leader, and none of the annoying X-Men, which is a dwindling number nowadays.
I just saw this and I'm
It's going to be
like,
the new Wolverine book.
I'm like, it's so funny that they could release this, and I'm like, okay, I think I can order about 125 of each J. Scott Campbell cover if they're open order. Like, it doesn't matter what the book is.
I know nothing
right?
about it, but I will have 1,000.
If it's Psylocke and a Rogue together on the cover, double it. You know, like, it's just, I'm already thinking like,
That's sexist. What if it's Bishop and Gambit?
Well,
I would cut my order in
a
half.
prime example of this is the Mighty Thor that got in the March top 10 numbers. Because
Yeah.
Thor
Do you-
hasn't
do
been
you
in the
think-
top 10 in a
do you
long
think
You
time.
love comics about women dying of cancer? Here's a sexy art germ cover for you. Buy a shitload of
a
it.
sexy what car?
Art germ cover.
What is art germ?
The artist, art germ.
Stanley Lau.
The Supergirl artist?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Hey, I think it's the new Wolverine.
Is his name Art Germ, first and last name?
That's his art name or his
If it's
name.
it's the new Wolverine
How haven't I
comic,
heard of
then
this
the
guy?
J. Scott Campbell variant covers better be of like Yuriko and
no, because
and
I've
fucking
seen
Kitty
him doing. I've
Pryde.
seen him doing these Wolverine covers where it's like old school Wolverine, new school Wolverine, all like with his butt showing. So you got some sexiness going there.
Unless it's
but
X-23, like nobody wants to
It
see
could be
this, okay?
X-23 because it doesn't have
it's
the
gonna be
it's
Wolverine
classified.
man butt.
Oh, Stanley Lau. Oh,
So-
I know him
so-
much better as Stanley Lau.
So it's gonna be brilliant because you're gonna have all these people like pre-ordering Wolverine butt cover.
So anyway, if you want to pre-order your J. Scott Campbell X-Classified variant covers, go on customer.comichub.com and load up the July order form.
Yeah,
It will-
because you can't
we'll
trust
start-
Higgins to add it to your box anymore. Those days are long gone.
That's okay. They'll just be up as sets.
Yeah, he's gonna have. If they're open order, he's gonna have sets up on the website.
It literally does not matter what this comic is. It's for a J. Scott Campbell variant cover, so there you go.
Wolverine butt cover.
Nice.
Wolverine butt cover. Wolverine butt cover. Wolverine butt cover.
Is that what he's doing? Is this
Yeah, Wolverine butt cover. Wolverine butt cover.
Wolverine butt cover?
Is that J. Scott Campbell?
Yeah, look.
Okay,
butt
you're a
cover,
freak.
Butt
Put it
cover,
away. Put it away.
Butt cover.
Put it away.
Butt cover.
Okay, put it away.
Apparently, our artwork is going to be the Wolverine butt cover.
All right.
Anyway, it could be, as long as it's not written by Cy Spurrier and or drawn by Capullo or JRJR. I want the whole set. It's probably some new awesome arc, and it's probably going to be amazing. So I want the whole thing.
All right. We are opening the store back up in 2 hours. Sorry, this episode did not go up Tuesday night as we record as normal because we're recording and we're doing our minute sale of Action Comics 1000. So we are doing our minute sale. We're opening at 10 o'clock last night when you hear this. So hopefully you guys all came out and got Action Comics. And if you're hearing this late, obviously it's Wednesday or past that, you should still go try to hunt down a copy of Action Comics. Next week we'll be talking about it in depth.
Wait. Are you winding down?
Yeah. I mean, we're going for about 25 minutes, so we're going to wrap up this podcast. No, I have like 1,000 questions here from people on Twitter.
GFY, my man. GFY.
I don't know what that means.
What?
What?
You teach me about acronyms all the time. Why don't you Google it while I'm talking about how awesome Marvel has been? Marvel has been so awesome.
So how's that?
GFY. Okay, sure.
Yeah. I'm surprised I haven't told you that before.
I have some questions. We're going to answer some of these questions.
By the way, are you excited for the new Weapon X book with Omega in red on the team? That is going to be some hotness.
Is that Weapon X?
Yeah. No, that's
Weapon X
classified.
What?
Or is it? Nobody knows, including you or me.
I like Omega Red.
Butt Wolverine covers.
That strike looks bad.
I want some butt Omega Red covers.
It'll come. It's the new thing. Jay's got Campbell butt covers.
You're so happy. The freaks come out at night. How's that song go? The freaks come out at night. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Norman has a very important question. He says, if Bruce Banner is driving a rental car and turns into the Hulk, is he covered, or does he need to add the Hulk as an additional driver on his insurance?
Are you kidding me? He's absolutely covered. That is a crazy question. You are covered for all liability while you are the driver, okay?
They would just call it an act of nature at that point.
It's not like the...
Bruce Banner is the Hulk. The Hulk is
You'll have to go through...
Yeah, but the people don't know that, though.
It's not like he has a
Bruce
separate
Banner
driver's
would come back
license.
with pieces of his car.
You just have to
Sure.
you just have to go to State Farm because they've already covered it.
And they would be like, what is even happening? And he would be like, I don't know, I saw some Geico commercials.
Who would actually insure Bruce Banner? I mean...
Well, Allstate,
terrible.
Obviously, because, the fucking president is the spokesperson for it.
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, are you kidding me? What
are you wearing?
J. Jonah Jameson is part of Farmers Insurance. He would definitely cover Bruce Banner because it's part of the Marvel family.
No,
Peter.
it's Allstate because of the mayhem.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Peter wants to know, now that Superman's getting his underwear back, when will Spider-Man get his armpit webbing back? Old school, John Romita Sr.
Yeah, the good John Romita. Just kidding. Not kidding.
But that's old school for like a minute. That's not like part of his iconic costume.
Yeah.
Was he drawing it during that point, or was it just...
It would have been pre...
Was it just Ditko?
No, it was just Ditko. I mean,
Ditko?
JR was probably the one who took the webs off.
Took it off.
That was a window in time that could not...
They brought it back in...
it should have lasted longer.
They brought it
no matter
back
how long it lasted, it should have lasted longer.
Back for about 5 minutes every 10 years.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, web arms. And then they're like, nah.
No. They're totally going to make a big deal, bring it back, sell some T-shirts, and then take it away.
Exactly. They're going to have a big...
Exactly.
They're going to have a big line of variants.
Some T-shirts with the web on it.
Exactly.
They brought it back in... they brought it back in Homecoming. He had it in Homecoming.
The web armpits are back. Instead of back in black, it's going to be back in armpits. I don't know.
I saw that Spider-Man is going to have his black costume in the relaunch. That's super weird. I don't know what they're doing with that.
Hey, quick question for that I am too tired to post on Twitter, and I also don't have my phone on me. DC's relaunch. Are you as vitriolic about that as you are about Marvel's newest relaunch?
Rebirth?
What? Doesn't DC have a slew of number ones coming out?
I have a couple. Action.
It looked like it was at least half a dozen.
Superman is getting your number one. Justice League.
Justice League of America.
No.
Oh, that one's continuing, or this?
No, that's ending. Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be other Justice League titles.
Yeah, they're doing Justice League Dark again.
But I think, there's a new Justice League Dark. But I mean, it's been off for a handful of years, so that's okay. It's not like a line wide thing. It's only a couple books. Okay. I don't like it. I told Comic Conspiracy guest podcaster Scott Snyder that they shouldn't have a new number one for anything.
I think that we could just call him friend of the podcast.
Sure, there you go. I said, dude, I'm super happy that you're taking over Justice League. Make sure it's like number 51 or 52 or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't want more number ones.
You told him this, or did you tell him?
I did.
I love you, Scott.
Well, that too, but they're not doing it for Titans or Teen Titans. They're gonna have a special, and then they're just gonna go straight back into the numbering, which is like, thank you, DC. And even with Superman number one for Bendis, Action is staying 1001. Superman's going back to number 1. I think it's a mistake. They should just keep the numbering going. I don't want more renumbering.
Interesting.
And they're doing it with Justice League.
I hadn't heard you mention that before.
Yeah, it's super annoying. Justin Grosjean asks...
Oh, you finally pronounced it correctly.
What does the gang think of the upcoming Justice League Odyssey comic? Think it'll be any good? Well, of course, because it has... Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, Starfire, Azrael, Cyborg, and Darkseid. What a fucking team that is.
Did you say Darkseid?
Darkseid, yeah.
What? By the way, is it regular Starfire or is it Starfire from the TV show?
Okay. First of all, it's not just Starfire. Beast Boy looks terrible too, and Raven looks fine. But those shots are not.
I know.
I know. I don't want to say anything until we see like a trailer.
Okay, when I first glanced at that picture, I thought they were shooting the Pro.
Jesus Christ. So Joshua Williamson...
Is that a funny joke?
Joshua Williamson and Steven Sedgwick are doing Justice League Odyssey. So yes, I am super excited for this. And it's a space book. Of course I'm excited for this. Oh, it's going to be so good. They just need friggin' Adam Strange in this team. And we're perfect.
Wait, Justice League Odyssey and it's got Darkseid?
Yeah.
See, I'm just convinced somebody went, well, they made Lex Luthor on the Justice League once. How can we top that?
Yeah, we don't know what...
Seriously.
The whole pitch for No Justice is that, and obviously Scott talked about this last week, is that these things worse than any villain on Earth are coming into the DC universe.
Yeah, but Darkseid's not from Earth, so what?
No, but so I'm curious if Darkseid's like, hey, I need you guys to stop this as well, so I'm going to help you, or if Darkseid gets controlled. Like, we don't know what quite the deal with Darkseid is in this, so I'm very curious.
He spoiled a lot, but I don't want to spoil it again.
Which Darkseid? It could be a Darkseid from an Earth where he's good.
Oh my God! Yeah, that Earth, the cuddly Darkseid.
See, I say things like this to get Charlie to open up.
No, at one of the panels recently, they went into all sorts of details that I was amazed they shared the level of details they did.
Well, it's fine. I mean, again, like the first appearance of Red Goblin, right? I mean, I like it when they show me this stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not complaining that they have him on the team. I just don't want to explain why he's on the team.
Okay.
So, Charlie, why is he on the team?
He has his reasons.
They already spoiled it in this panel.
By the way, this is incredibly stupid. Darkseid on the Justice
if you don't
League.
want to know the spoiler, stop listening right now. Go, Charlie.
Are they called the Justice League?
I'll tell you off the air. How about that?
I mean, Justice League Odyssey is what it's called, but I don't know if they're called that and within the team. I don't know.
I don't like my Darkseid on that, or my Darkseid. I don't like either of them on a Justice League team.
Justin asks, after MCU Phase 4 ends, after Avengers 4, do you think it'll take another 10 years to get to the next quote-unquote Thanos? Do you think it's going to take that long to get kind of a big bad, or do they go to like single-focus movies? Or
Dude, I do not know. I mean, since a decade ago, we were sort of looking at Infinity War as this pie-in-the-sky thing that we will never get. And we're about a month away, not even, from getting it.
So do you think they would go to...
What other stories could they do?
Secret
definitely
Invasion.
Fear itself.
Probably Secret Invasion. I mean, if they start dropping in scrolls randomly...
Well, the thing is, it also depends on...
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be
it's
so
also
great.
dependent on what happens with the Fox merger.
All of a sudden we find out, like...
That's the other thing.
Right.
It's
Fox merger, then they can do the scrolls.
Then they can do scrolls, then they can do a whole lot of other stuff. So
and I totally missed the whole thing that the scrolls are going to be like the villain in Captain Marvel. Apparently, I missed that completely.
Well, no, you were on. Was it this show or was it the Geekbox a couple weeks ago where you were throwing shade at the possibility? You're like, no.
Apparently,
they're a Fantastic Four villain.
Apparently,
it can't be Captain Marvel.
Yeah, apparently I completely missed this. Yeah, it's been official for like a year. Yeah, the villains of the movie is what's it called the villains
Captain
in
Marvel.
I wonder
Captain
when
Marvel
you
is
like
the Skrulls
in real life at current time
during like the Kree Skrull War.
Yeah, it takes place in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, what other story are you going to put in? Are they potentially going to do Contest of the Champions or bring in the Beyonder?
Oh, that would be so cool.
That would be so cool.
You know, all of a sudden you're watching your Spider-Man
but again,
number 4, and then he's gone. at the end.
But again, it
disappears.
Secret Empire. That's going to be the next 10 years until they built the Secret Empire.
How cool would it be at the end of every movie?
I already made a joke like that with Fear Itself. I already made that joke.
At the end
you have to rescind your joke.
At the end of every movie that they have in the next wave, the hero disappears in the last scene. Just disappears.
In the after credits?
Yep.
That would be way too cool.
Credit.
Not even Marvel could do that. That would be way too cool.
They're going to build to the New Warriors. That's where they're going.
The problem is that like
Just build to the
too
New
many
Warriors.
movies need to have like randomly become super popular, like Guardians, where they fast track the sequel. And so if they did that, like imagine Guardians, where at the end they all disappear.
Not even all of them. Just one. Star-Lord gone.
Yeah, but you can't have Guardians 2 without Star-Lord. Because he was in Parks and Rec, and it was Burt Macklin, and he was incredible.
Of Champions. You're doing individual movies.
I know what he's talking about,
but they'd have to figure out. They'd have to figure out which movie is not coming out. Like which one's the last one in the line.
No, but I use Guardians because that's a perfect example of a movie that they did not expect to do so well that they fast tracked that sequel. That was never intended to have a sequel before Infinity War.
It wasn't.
It was not.
Well, there you go.
Correct?
Winner.
I highly doubt they expected it.
I'm 99.9% sure, but only Charlie knows.
I doubt they expected to do so well, but I'm sure they also went, okay, where would we stick in the sequel if it does do well?
Yeah.
If Ant-Man broke $1 billion, they would have had the sequel out before Infinity War.
Right. My point is, I love your idea of Contest of Champions. I'm just saying that they would have had to film and put those in the movie before they realize how popular it is. Yeah. It is not a plausible theory. However awesome it is.
Well, we're talking about after credits. So in the after credits, you can make whatever hero pop out. So let's say in Ant-Man 2, Iron Man just disappears. So they can choose heroes at any point. You can film the clip of that hero just popping out.
Okay, now we're just like fictitiously masturbating. That is too good of an idea.
Whoa, okay.
I said fictitiously. Do you know what that means?
I think 10 years from now we're gonna have the return of Thanos.
We're gonna what?
The return of Thanos.
Oh, yeah.
So we have movies, and then we got a decade, and then we have Thanos gonna come back.
Probably. Most likely. There's no other story that's as good because Fox has just pumped out all the good X-Men stories in the past decade. They've used them all.
You could try Galactus again.
Do a Galactus movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're talking. Galactus.
But they're going to string it along for another 10 years.
Sure. I don't mind. I was trying to think of anything that could even match like a fraction of Infinity War.
He could be like a mid-boss that comes... Mid-level boss that comes like after 5 years, and then another 5 years you got Galactus.
Could we actually get a decent Planet Hulk movie?
They're leading into something with the Fantastic Four because Silver Surfer is tagged for the Infinity War.
It's bullshit.
Is it bullshit like Stan Lee coming to Silicon Valley Comic Con?
Let's talk about that.
I believe the words you used are, I will sign over my left testicle if he actually shows up and signs. I believe were the words you used.
It's still there?
Okay.
Touche. By which I mean, I know.
There is absolutely a chance that some Fantastic Four elements show up at the end of Infinity War or at the end of Infinity War 2, whatever, right? I'm not saying that's not possible. At this present time, there is no random update on IMDb is going to reveal the Fantastic Four are going to be an event. It's just not. That's just not how it's done.
You have no credibility. Can we talk about Silicon Valley Comic Con and Stan Lee?
IMDb is not controlled by some super private group of people that know everything about movies. They can be updated by kind of just random
I'm not talking about
people.
IMDb. I'm talking about I don't do any research. I just listen to all you guys.
The Silver Surfer, there was a rumor going around that Surfer in some random site was listed as being a part of Infinity War, and as of this recording, it is not sure. I'm not saying it's not there, but nobody knows about this.
It's going to things
officially
at the end of the week. Bam! I'm here.
Which it totally could, right?
If anything happens, it will be in the next Avengers movie, which is a year out.
Yeah. Nothing's happening.
I don't actually think there's any Fantastic Four traction going on right now. I just wanted to take the piss out of Higgins for being so wrong about Stan Lee.
Uh-huh. Well, you
don't think Onslaught could be?
I was wrong.
Oh my god, that would be so amazing.
I was wrong.
Oh my god,
Stan Lee was there. He shouldn't have been, though. That's the point.
Oh, my God. You are taking this man who battled his sickness and weakness to show up at this con, and you're basically trying to spin it so that you're basically right.
Like a wax figure.
You are basically trying to spin it so that you're right still.
Bryce, I love you.
He should not have.
Let's see the picture,
No,
Charlie.
but that's not what we're arguing.
The picture of Charlie's kids with Stanley was
That picture is
amazing.
actually kind of amazing.
By the way,
it was actually really good.
That was amazing.
They wrote articles about his appearance there, and they were basically calling it Weekend at Stan Lee's.
Yeah.
it is incredible that even in spite of him being wrong, you will defend him. Because I'm not talking about whether or not he should have been. I'm talking about the fact that you said that there is no way in hell he will be there, and you were wrong. And instead of ever saying, "Yeah, I was wrong,"
I forgot about the greed of humanity,
which is
Sure
crazy.
did not forget about the greed of human people tonight.
Yeah, he should not have been there.
Yeah, that's
Peter
not a good sign.
asks, is Action Comics number 1000 the highest pre-selling single issue ever? I'm assuming he means from us. And if not, what is?
It's hold on. It's
Because obviously
it's
Grumpy
X-Men
Cat.
Alpha.
Is it Grumpy Cat?
So the only other one that's come anywhere, even remotely close to this, was our Harley Quinn number 1, the variant cover we did for Rebirth, which obviously we pre-sold a ton of copies.
That was 100 and 200 copies.
There's like 200
And
something.
second to
Okay,
that
but,
is Grumpy Cat. Let's be serious.
we sold more Action 1000s by far.
Okay,
But not individual covers, I'm assuming.
No, individual covers is still Harley. Like
Like if
by
you count
itself.
one cover,
okay.
yeah.
Other than the variant that only you had in the
Yeah.
country, what is the next one on the list?
Grumpy Cat number 3.
Jesus, I mean nothing close. Like pre-sale with sets. I mean, we'll sell a few dozen.
Doomsday Clock did.
Doomsday Clock we did a lot. Oh, and the button we did a lot too. We did a good like 50, 60 sets on the button. Doomsday Clock 1 set we did probably 50 or 60. Yeah, but I mean Action just blows everything else out of the water.
So other than like store exclusive variant, Action is the highest single comic that you've sold ever. That's awesome.
Yeah. Outside of Harley Quinn, yeah, Action is twice the
pre-sale so far.
Until we get Batman next week.
the
Next
total
year,
amount
not
of
next week.
the total amount of copies we ordered is twice our highest ordered comic ever, and our highest ordered comic ever was Doomsday Clock number 1,
And he keeps on ordering.
which broke Marvel Legacy number 1, which was our highest ordered, and the reason that was the highest ordered. Oh wait, no, sorry, that broke Superman Unchained, which we gave away about half the copies for free because the variant covers paid for it. The next one below that would be Marvel Legacy number 1. Again, we're giving away 9/10 of the copies for free because, actually, probably 95% of those copies for free because the variants paid for everything. Lower after that, maybe Uncanny Avengers number 1 when that came out because we did the midnight sale on that. That was huge. Metal number 1, those are probably about the same. No, we probably did more Metal number 1. Metal number 1's probably the one after that.
Do you have more customers now than you did 3 years ago?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
especially after the
comic readership is growing. Is that safe to say?
I mean, industry wide.
Well,
Shop readership is
I'm
growing,
wondering,
at
like,
least.
feet in the door versus like average buyer buying more.
I mean, we're busier by far. Yeah, especially since we moved.
That's awesome.
Well, subscriber-wise, you have less. Do we have less whales now than we did before?
The whole industry does. We never had a lot.
It's like, well, there are whales, but
I got a couple.
Hey, GFY.
Hey, come on, man.
It's no one sitting at this table. You're not even close.
Okay.
Well,
like maybe over time.
Well, look, come on.
I was joking, but I know
could be-
you're not a whale, Toby. You just order things and don't pay for them, and or don't pick them up.
No, I do pay for them.
You just
I
don't pick them
up.
If you had the stuff, if you just get out there and hustle a little bit, I could be your biggest whale.
Oh.
You have Action. You have Action Comics number 1. Jesus, you have like Spider-Man number 1 and all like the keys. What are you looking for? I'm not going to go hunt silver stuff for you. It's impossible. No,
Yeah.
I'm looking for Action 1.
I'm not going to go dig around dead people's attics.
Some customer service rep you are.
225.
Because it's all Comic Cup now.
Does Comic Cup do it? If Comic Cup does
Can you
it, he'll do
please
it.
give me a...
Can I put my order on Comic Cup?
Go pre-order the first appearance of Batgirl on Comic Con.
252. That's what you're looking for.
Okay, M asks, what are our thoughts on the end of Metal? I mean, most of us were here. We talked about it last week. In the event overall, I mean, we there were elements we didn't touch on it. Bryce, I don't think did you finish Metal yet?
I'm living with my in-laws. I have no privacy. I've not been reading comics the past week.
You sound ashamed.
I'm ashamed both to have not been reading comics and for living with my in-laws. I love my in-laws.
So your in-laws know you read comics?
But oh yeah, they all have Bryce's Right shirts, which makes them higher class of fashion than a lot of people.
They use Comic Hub though. That's
nobody's perfect, Higgins.
Nobody. Now I missed last week, so
yeah.
So what I really liked about it was not like if you look at Tig Morrison, for example, he kind of rambles on and on about different stuff. Sometimes I really love it, sometimes I don't.
Well, a lot of stuff happens off panel.
But when Snyder did it off panel for this one, I do like off panel stuff that makes you come up with your own story or think about what you're going to do. It kind of gives you a lot to think about. And then if they want to go back at some point in time, they can go out back and fill out different stuff.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. And I mean, you had to go back and read it. I read it twice. Just, first time through, flip through. And
I do need like a solid read through because there's a lot of big topics that they bring up that sort of just like get mentioned once and kind of, if you don't remember that, by the time you get to issue 6, you're going to be forgetting
like,
stuff.
what the hell happened?
Yeah.
And that's what I felt. And I went back and read it again. And it's like watching a movie where you can just fill things out the second time through because some of it just comes naturally in that storyline. So, again, I thought it was awesome. So, yay, Scott, good job. Again. And
you
again.
read it, yay!
And again. Yes, I'm caught up on that.
He also wants to know what other products besides comics sell best at your store. I mean, we do some statues, some toys. We don't do a ton. It's mostly comics. Comics are something like 85% of our
This year was
business.
the Metal T-shirt.
Yeah, we sold a lot of those. But yeah, there's comics are at this point, 90% of what we sell is comic books.
Would you consider the keychain open keychains?
I mean, that's toys. Yeah, I mean, we sell a lot of those keychains. We open a lot of blind pack product, and I find that does help them sell a little bit better. I mean, it does kind of you get stuck with the duds, but at least we tried blind pack stuff for a while and they never sold. But after I opened them, we sold quite a bit of stuff. So we need to kind of junk a bunch of this and refresh a bunch. Is his thoughts on collectible card games like Magic the Gathering? I mean, I played Magic since Alpha. I played from the very beginning. I played through about Ice Age, which for anyone listening is like 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
Ryan and I were started the Magic Club at our high school.
Nerd. Here we go, Bryce. I sold my giant size X-Men #1.
Not to me.
Through about issue 200 for a couple boxes of Magic cards back in the mid-90s. Yeah. A little bit before the X-Men movie came out.
Have I told you about what an idiot I was about Magic cards?
The funny thing is, at the time, when the X-Men movie came out, I'm like, oh my god, these stupid Magic cards, what an idiot I am. These X-Men books are worth now a fortune. So I got rid of all my Magic cards. Now those Magic cards are worth way more than what those X-Men comics would be worth. So,
it seems to me what you need to do is keep all of the X-Men books you currently have, because they're all going to be worth a fortune.
So the Grant Morrison X-Men and X-Statics. Got it.
So
actually, I mean, I know you're joking.
You're going to be kicking yourself in the ass about Walking Dead in about 10
I literally
years, right?
own the first appearance of Firestar, the X-Men comics, a crossover with the New Warriors, the Grant Morrison new X-Men run, and X-Statics, and X-Force. And X-Men Titans, yeah. It's
Which X-Force, though? Which X-Force?
X-Force, the Mike Allred, Peter Milligan. That's literally all I own.
God damn it.
I tell you, I own 2 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. No, 6. The 5-part crossover and then the crossover with the New Warriors. I get rid of
that crossover was really dope, though.
Wait, did you hate X-Static?
No, I've talked about this before. I basically, I felt bait and switched that it never should have been allowed to be just
X-Force.
Yeah,
should have been X-Static.
They should have just called it something different. I don't care what they call it, even if they pimp out the X hyphen
hold on.
genre.
Is that a cup of haterade you're drinking?
No, it's
I think it is.
Ninkasi Triceratops double IPA.
It
was a joke. Sorry.
You don't like the Orphan?
It's the hipster.
He was great in the Versus card game. By the way, any of you listeners play the Versus card game? That is a gem. I really missed that card game. That was a great game. And then they did Power Creep super quick.
Oh, but it has X-Men. I mean, or Magic. Jesus, you guys played Magic. Brock, you played.
I played, and then I was out of it, and then
sidetracked there.
And then I tried to get back into it, and was like, God damn, this is a lot of money just for the collectability. So now
I just play Hearthstone.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, like, you literally play Hearthstone now. So what changed?
I can actually get rid of shit and get shit I need.
That's literally not true. With Magic, you can actually sell your collection. You can't do that with Hearthstone.
Yeah. You mean I can take all those commons? I have like 16 copies of some stupid card, send it to Magic, and get like a rare?
I guess not.
Is that something you can do? I don't know.
Well, if they're from an old enough set.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know Magic.
What did you do with Magic, Bryce? You said you were stupid.
If you want to hear a story about how I was an idiot 9-year-old, have I got a story for you? So I'll make it actually briefly instead of Bryce briefly. So I loved crawworms. Do you guys remember crawworms? Well, let me tell you. They were a green creature and they were a dragon. They looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think I remember this card.
And I would trade anybody, anything for all the crawworms they had. And I don't know because I was 9 and my parents had no idea about nerd shit. So they were just like, sure, yeah, whatever. Thanks, Mom and Dad. So I don't know, but I can only assume that I had several Black Lotuses or whatever that I traded away for a fucking couple crawworms, which are a common card. Because I don't even remember. All I know is that I was an idiot 9-year-old, and I was like, oh yeah, crawworms look cool, and these devilish 10 and 11-year-olds were probably like, I'll take that Black Lotus off your hand, Mr. Larsen. So I will never know how much money I lost out on, but I can only assume it was a lot.
How much are crawworms going up for now?
No, they were common. They can't. Yeah, that was it. I love that 6-drop, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
4 neutral, 2 forest. I thought it looked so sick. Terrible. Well, I'm not even sure if it was a terrible card. I didn't play it. I was 9. I don't even know what I was doing when I was 9.
You know what? It was probably the beta one because it had the black border. It makes it look a whole lot better.
Well, whether or not that was the case, I was an idiot 9-year-old, and now I'm an idiot almost 39-year-old. So 3 decades later, almost, I am.
This is the upgraded version.
That looks possibly equally cool.
So are you telling us you've always wanted a lizard?
Nope, never said that. Never insinuated that. I just love fucking dragons. I love dragons, and I love dungeons, but I don't love Dungeons and Dragons.
There are other good dragons in Magic. You didn't have to stick to just the green dragon.
I know, but I like green because of just big beasts. Hunter was the first, my first golden legendary on Hearthstone. What is it? Golden Hero. Golden Hero. My first Golden Hero.
What was the original question?
What do we think of
Magic the Gathering?
By the way, I'm done for all intents and purposes. I'm done.
Remember that one time and
Fortress of Comic. Let's get back to comic.
Oh, that is a different story, Scott.
Can we get back to comic books, please?
Okay. Can we?
That's a little.
I know. I got it. You don't even need to say it. I got it. And you and I are the only people to get it.
Fortress of Comictude asks, "What's your favorite Superman story of all time?"
Oh, let me tell you. The story that got me into comic books was the death of Superman. That's on my secret origin, and I'm sticking to it. Death of Superman was the greatest story in all of comics, including X-Men.
You mimicking Ryan right now?
Am I what-ing Ryan?
Mimicking Ryan right now?
Yes, I am. Because I'm a huge troll. Nope. I'm not a huge troll. Why am I mimicking Ryan? Ryan's favorite Superman story is probably fucking Milkman Man. Like, my favorite story is actually the greatest Superman story ever.
No, but the death of Superman is like Ryan's comic store origin.
That was my secret origin when I joined this podcast a decade ago.
Death of Superman's a lot of people's big Superman book.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm actually the first to be done, which is what I tell my wife. No, wait, what?
Have some more of that drink.
What's your favorite story of all time, Brock? For Superman?
Gatorade?
I like Superman. It's not Harley Quinn.
No, I'm actually.
Is he Marvel? I hate it.
Too much clothes
I really
on.
like the John's Legion stuff from Action.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I did like the Straczynski stuff where he's kind of walking America.
Yeah, I thought that was very good as well.
Tomasi's been really great
Just current stuff.
Just current stuff. So, I mean, there's not really a single Superman story that I'm like I gravitate towards, but there's a couple like key things here and there that I like.
All-Star Superman, no question. Not even close.
That is really good.
Yep. 4 Seasons was really good.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Is that Henry Cavill? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
No, Bryce, that's me. It's a picture of me.
Higgins has constantly TVs playing in the store, and I swear that it was from far away. They're playing an episode of Smallville, and some bystander looked like Henry Cavill because he had a mustache. Okay.
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman is a great shout. Probably my third favorite Superman story ever.
Mine is, and you don't know the title of it. What, Man of Tomorrow? Alan Moore one?
Yeah.
Yep.
For the man who has everything?
Yeah. Whatever happened to the man?
Whatever
of
happened to
Tomorrow.
the man. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
One of
That's
the
my
first
second
Superman
favorite.
stories I ever
I
read.
love how it's
still
your
to this
favorite.
day,
You
it's still my
know the
favorite.
name.
Fuck off.
I also like Red Sun.
Yeah, a lot of people like Red Sun.
Yeah, whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow was set in the future,
That was so
and
good.
it was like supposed to be the last, appearance. It was post-crisis
Yeah.
and in the 80s. So good.
It's so good. I read it in German, motherfucker. I can't even bring it to you and show it to you in German.
I can't even read German.
I would love it if you would
probably can't
show it to me in
anymore.
German. Charlie, Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
I'm going
Toby?
to call
Nicht mehr.
Kingdom Come a Superman story,
Me too.
and therefore that's my favorite.
Oh, that's actually a great call that I'm trying to find a hole to shoot in it, but I can't. That's a really
Because
good...
Kingdom Come is the right answer to all questions.
Yeah, because DC is very vapid and shallow other than Kingdom Come. Oh, no,
No, it's
Superman.
just
Okay.
it's just
All right.
hard to beat Kingdom Come. It's like I'll agree. DC peaked at Kingdom Come.
Yeah, and they've been on the downside ever since. Yeah, I
What
agree.
about Superman for
I
All
agree.
Seasons?
A lot of people like that one.
No, that's good too.
Or
a lot of people like that
John's
one.
Secret Origins
I love Higgins' backhanded compliments that he gives. A lot of people like that one.
No, For All Seasons is a really popular book. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's just 4 seasons.
Mark
It's
Widow?
not
Yeah.
4 all seasons.
Or
It's
4
just
seasons. No, Superman?
Is it
For
for
all
all
seasons.
seasons?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Jim's favorite is the Blackout arc of Superman. You like that one, or it goes back in time?
I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Back in time.
Huh?
No,
Is the one that goes back in time?
No, he didn't go back in time.
Whoa, who is he making out with in
Yeah,
that picture?
Smoochy
He
Boochies.
lost his memory and went and got stuck on a fucking tropical island.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
when he's
what-
with, what's her face?
Smoochy
Ivy?
Beachy.
Huh?
that Poison Ivy?
No, I can't remember her name.
No, that's
Black
like
and
a,
Random.
Island Princess, man.
I forgot.
I'll take it.
We had something
I'll
else
allow it.
to do in this podcast before.
Are we going to still do more questions?
Yeah, we have a lot more questions.
Random picks?
No.
Yeah.
Our weekly
Actual
diatribe
1000.
about how
Actual
awesome
1000.
X-Men is?
What's it?
Our weekly diatribe about how awesome X-Men is.
We could do that, but we're also first going to talk to our good friend Tyler Willits. Tyler Willits.
Jesus.
Because I can pronounce names.
Tyler, we all love you, but Higgins had to look at a piece of paper to remember how to
what's up
pronounce
with
your
that
I
last
think
name.
because, I have a lot of stuff on here to read.
He wanted to call you Willis, but that's because he loves Die Hard, and who doesn't, Tyler?
Who doesn't love Die Hard?
Best Christmas movie ever.
It's from Tyler.
That's my favorite Christmas movie after Love Actually.
You're the worst.
The Crow.
Wait, what about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
You both go fuck yourselves.
Not bad, but Elf is better than that.
Tyler
That shit.
says
That's April.
he was Tyler was at C2E2.
Top 10 favorite
Tyler was at C2E2.
Oh, sorry.
guys.
Or maybe this is Indiana Comic Con.
Oh, Indiana Comic Con?
No, he was at C2E2. Yeah, I'm assuming this is all
What are you
from
looking
C2E2.
at? It looks like you printed out pictures from Pornhub.
In my now annual tradition, I send my box of gifts to thank you for this podcast that I enjoy so much. I try hard to get something everyone loves, but I feel I always falter at Charlie. Charlie just loves so much. So broadly.
Oh, Tyler.
That I
Tyler,
find him-
you know Charlie so well.
That I find him difficult to find things for, except this year. This year I finally did it and found
Yeah.
something
It's a cable thing.
I think he'll
Do
absolutely
not you
love.
dare, Tyler.
It's a cable thing.
Tyler!
Charlie, can you pause your game for a second?
The first thing he got, Charlie, is a copy of Sinestro #1 signed by Cullen Bunn.
Ooh.
Very nice.
But more importantly, the Deluxe Kingdom Come hardcover signed by Mark Waid and Alex Ross.
Holy shit!
Applause.
Charlie's at a loss for words.
That's
no sketch, Tyler. No sketch.
No.
That's awesome.
I'm joking.
No, thank you so much.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Brock.
Uh-oh.
Swamp Thing Winter Special, second print.
I don't care.
Signed
I don't have it.
by Tom King.
What?
As well as Poison Ivy's Cycle of Life, #1, signed by Amy Chu and Clayman. Clayman's also doing the art on.
Thank you,
that's
Tyler.
pretty sick.
Holy shit.
I don't even have. He didn't order second print, so I'm like, sweet, I get the second print.
To Ryan, Mr. Miracle #4, signed by Tom King.
Sick.
Yeah, look at that. As well as number 37, Batman 37, Date Night, signed by Tom King and Clayman.
If my name
Thank
was Ryan, I would have jacked those from you.
Bryce.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
Vision #1, hip hop variant cover.
Oh my god.
Signed by Tom King.
Oh my god, Tyler.
As well as the Uncanny X-Men #1 hip hop variant cover, signed by Cullen Bunn.
Holy fuck.
So that is for Bryce. It's a Toby.
Tyler. Oh my
Rogue
god.
and Gambit #3, signed to Toby by Chris Anka, artist. As well as A Tale of Sand
Wait, do I even have this issue?
to Toby, signed by Ramon
You haven't
Perez.
You guys this one.
You haven't taken it home yet.
This
It's probably
one?
still in your box.
Are
Signed.
you sure, Mr. Comic Cop?
A copy of Jim Henson's Tale of Sand, signed by Roman Perez, who was nice enough to do a sketch in there without him even asking.
Wow.
Oh, Tyler. Holy smokes, man.
Yeah.
As for Kevin and Jim and Scott, who now have become more regular, I currently don't have anything for you. I feel bad, but I totally don't know you guys well enough. I'll definitely fix that for next year. I know Jim loves horror comics. Side King, Tom King is a huge dork. He's a genuinely nice dude that really wanted to talk to every fan he could. He seemed very humble in his success and always made sure to credit the artist whenever anyone talked to him about his comics. Oh, and finally, there was one pair of red trunks from the Action Comics 1000 panel at C2E2. Those are for whoever wants them to store. If you guys need some type of custody deal, you're adults. I believe in you. Thank you once again for the great podcast. It's the first thing I listen to every day on Wednesdays. Well, it'll be a little later today. And I hope Brock does not judge me for my inferior packing skills. They showed up perfectly, so you're fine.
I didn't open it, so I couldn't judge.
Thanks
but
again,
Brian
Tyler.
says it's okay.
Dude.
And here's a picture of me meeting Batman, Kevin Conroy, at the Indiana Comic Con. So there's him and Kevin Conroy at the Indiana Comic Con.
Very awesome.
Oh, Tyler, I love it. Keep
And
up
Tyler was
Last year's was the one with the Ghost Rider bike, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like the printer. Yeah. Tyler was super awesome to hook us up to with some of the C2E2 con exclusives. Oh, Lane, yours is there too. I got your sack too from the Comic Con, the C2E2, the DC. Yeah, he was able to grab us a handful of stuff from the con too.
Tyler's got a strong Instagram game. Highly recommended to follow Tyler on Instagram. Tyler, thank you so much. This is
that's amazing.
Unexpected every time and incredibly sweet. I tried to literally take off my pants when I came in the store tonight, and Higgins stopped me by saying, "Whoa, Bryce,
We're not
stop."
live
You put
streaming
them
yet.
on
Put it back on.
over the pants.
Then I was told that I have to put the trunks on over my pants. Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, so there's some of the DC foil covers from C2E2.
Anyway, yeah, thank you so much, Tyler. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is.
Awesome.
I'm still a little speechless.
Yeah. You got to go.
Which makes one of us.
So is there a hardcover you have to get rid of now since you got this one now?
No, Kingdom Come breaks all rules.
Nice.
Well, I like it. If you notice on mine, I have 2 Brock and then 2 Brooke.
What?
Yeah.
Brooke?
Is it Brooke?
And then
it's probably just
Tom King wrote Brooke on this one.
no. It's not Brooke.
Really? What?
It's probably just an O and C. Just kind of get.
Let me see.
It looks like they put Brooke.
I'm sure it's Brock. It's just probably O and
No,
C.
it's
Just
okay.
will
It
get like
happens all the
O
time.
and C will get like combined.
Starbucks, I assume.
Joshua asks, "What's your thoughts on Steven Spielberg directing the Blackhawks movie?"
Fuck yes.
And we have a continuation question here from Danny. With Blackhawks now being directed by Steven Spielberg, what lesser-known or non-superhero characters would you guys like to see made into movies? So most of the people over the table are looking at me like, what the fuck am I talking about? Earlier today, DC Comics announced, not Warner Brothers, DC Comics announced that Steven Spielberg is going to be directing a Blackhawks movie.
Can you imagine Blackhawks with some of the stuff from like what came out earlier this year? Damn it!
It's been a long year, said nobody.
Early last year, it was. Damn it!
I want
Anyway.
some like
Like
Dunkirk? Right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine Blackhawks with some of the cinematography of Dunkirk?
I need Blackhawks via Wartime Forgot. I need them fighting dinosaurs. I need them fighting Nazis out of time.
Well, with Spielberg, you got that, right? You got a little bit of the.
Can we put an embargo
Jurassic
on talking
Park.
about DC movies until you actually release some? I also saw that that there's like a new Harley Quinn. This is gonna get Brock hard. There's a new Harley Quinn movie coming out.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Spin-off.
Someone asked. No.
Spin-off.
There was
my point is, you keep announcing movies. I'm still waiting for half of the movies you've announced to actually come out.
DC announced there was going to be a Gotham City Sirens movie. They announced a Birds of Prey movie. They're basically going to be one movie now. That's that, and they have a director.
Is it going to be the Sirens versus the Prey?
They have a director. They have a writer, a female director, female writer.
Are we going to talk about every announcement because that's 2 times the announcement?
No, and that's why I'm like Spielberg doing Blackhawks. Everything else, whatever. They've announced a bunch of shit. When it actually happens, we'll talk more about it.
You think that Spielberg doing a Blackhawks movie is more credible than the others?
I don't know. I feel like he might have a better shot at doing it. Yeah. They do switch off.
Can somebody timestamp this episode that Higgins said that?
Well, they announced a bunch of stuff. I'm hopeful that they all happen in some fashion. But yeah, obviously a lot of stuff gets
I'm also hopeful that they
thrown
all
aside,
happen in some
and it doesn't happen.
Fashion.
But what other
the Higgins that I know would say, "Don't talk to me until it's official."
Trailer. Yeah. What other non-superhero stuff or real small tier stuff would you like to see made into a movie? Obviously, Blackhawks is not. I mean, that's a perfect
Adam Strange
thing for Spielberg, but
Legion of Superheroes.
Adam Strange is high on my list. I would love an Adam Strange. Sci-fi. Deadman. Deadman's a good one.
Yeah.
Booster Gold going and fixing the entire DCU.
I don't think that'll happen.
Lobo.
It doesn't even have to be DCG. It could be Marvel.
No, but Warner Brothers is so effed that they would do the New 52 Lobo.
No. No, they would do.
They would, Charlie.
No, they
Charlie,
would just go full
you might like a lot of things, but you're wrong about a lot of
things.
things.
Go crazy and try and compete with Deadpool is what they do.
There you go. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Everything. And
they would try to compete with Deadpool, and then they would accidentally win an Academy Award. That's exactly
for visual effects.
Exactly. That's exactly what they would do.
Justice Society of America.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
Ryan,
That's not small either.
JSA with Wonder Woman would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So go think back in time, throw in some of the oldie moldies.
I'm telling you, this guy looks identical to Henry Cavill.
Season 5, episode 20. He does look a little bit like Henry Cavill.
Why do you?
No, I'm serious.
Okay, when
it
they
does.
don't,
I actually went.
When they
he does look kind of look
when
like
they just show him briefly.
Yeah. And if you just look up and to the side, it does fucking
dude,
Henry Cavill.
Are you kidding me? Tell me that unless they focus on his face, that doesn't look like Henry Cavill.
It totally does. It totally does.
not even close.
Oh my god!
It doesn't even look like they're trying to
Straight up
CGI
sidebarred the entire conversation. Oh look, hey, there's a squirrel.
Squirrel.
With a mustache.
Dude,
Wait, Wolverine's butt?
you guys are crazy. It looks identical to Henry Cavill. Anyway, X-Men is amazing. What?
Random.
DJ Dogboat. What a great name. That's my favorite DJ, actually, DJ Dogboat. It says, why do I feel like I'm the only
favorite
person?
DJ is DJ Milkman, man.
Why do I feel like I'm the only person who enjoyed Domino #1? Well, it's because you signed up for it on Comic Hub and
Hey,
he had me
DJ
put a copy aside
Dogboat,
for you.
I am going to be right there with you, my man. I just have to read it because Comic Hub didn't put it in my box, and certainly my LCS owner is not into customer service anymore, so he didn't put it in my box.
He also sold the really cool variant cover to someone that actually wanted to pay for it, except for me.
Yeah. Is that exactly what he is?
Yeah, but how often do we use the term LCS here?
Like every
The local
episode?
comic
that's
shop.
Bryce. That's Bryce. I mean, yeah, I use it all the time online, but that's Bryce's go-to phrase here.
Yeah, I did get the
What
Domino.
do you mean that's my go-to phrase? When's the last time I used that? First of all. Second of all, that's actually literally what you are.
Yes, yeah.
Dude, even Clark is getting smoochy boochies in this episode.
That's Henry Cavill.
No,
You got me there for a second. I was like,
that's Tom Welling. What do all white people look the same to you, Higgins? That's
We talked about Tom Welling and Lucifer. Whew, that dude got big.
Wait, Tom Welling?
like,
He's been on.
Is he playing
for the
Superman?
series.
No, he's playing Abel. Kane? No, Kane. Kane, sorry.
How worlds are colliding? How are you coping with that?
What?
What the fact that Tom Welling is Superman, but he's not Superman, but he's in a DC property.
Matter?
But Lucifer.
He's had time to
Lucifer's
That's-
awesome. I love
he's
Lucifer.
had time
That's
to
such a good show.
standard.
Oh no,
for
I'm thinking
DC.
of Constantine.
Toby's so mad at me.
What is Wait, what?
Fucking Comic Hub.
I love Lucifer. Lucifer's such a good show. It's so funny.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. If you watch TV for 20 years, it's not.
Okay, it's also very funny.
I'm very behind, but I like it.
Isn't Henry Cavill like 6'2"?
Yes. So when they show him next to Tom Welling, who's 6'6", that makes perfect
Tom
sense.
Welling
Tom Welling is like 5'11".
No,
is
he's
not.
not. No, Tom Welling's super tall.
Oh, yeah, take that, Scott Shea, if that is your name.
My name's Bryce Larsen. What?
Well, in that case, you're right.
You're on your phone
Bryce
now.
is always
Tom
right.
Welling's height now? He is.
No, he's live tweeting
He's
this
6'3".
podcast.
Tom Welling's 6'3".
So
taller.
So the Bryce is right again. You're welcome, Bryce. Thank you, Bryce.
Lester asks, I'm really enjoying
Lester Freeman?
Chip Zdarsky's run on Spectacular Spider-Man. Any recommendations for a Spider-Man run similar in tone or just personal favorites?
No, it has been a dry spell with tones similar to this for Spider-Man. This is a great, great run. I am absolutely loving it, but I think that's more Chip Zdarsky than Spider-Man. So I'm going to have to defer to my Marvel Puzzle Quest obsessed friend Charlie to tell us more Chip Zdarsky greatness, because Spider-Man has been amazing, pun intended.
Well, he was asking for other Spider-Man runs similar to this one. Which
Well, so maybe would he have clarified the question if he knew that it's not actually Spider-Man he was looking for, instead similar styles of writing?
Hey, Bryce.
Well, he was doing Howard the Duck before this. Was that him?
So I think there's two answers is my point, and you just answered one of them. Like, yeah, there's other great Chip Zdarsky runs.
He's looking for Spider-Man
Bryce.
runs.
Okay, if only Spider-Man, I think the answer is no. I don't
Bryce.
think that there's.
No.
Oh,
What are you doing?
Superior Foes. I mean,
What are you doing?
But that's not.
That's not the same. Like
That's not
No,
a
he's-
Spider-Man
that's
run.
I think similarly great, but it's a very different
well,
flavor.
he's taking over Amazing Spider-Man, so
So the run in the future.
Yeah, Higgins' answer for you is the run in the future. What could go wrong?
Which you can sign up for on Comic Con.
I mean, it's not Spider-Man, but it's all his villains and it's his greater
I think
rogues
it's a different style
gallery.
of humor.
You totally missed out on Henry Cavill beating up on Lex Luthor just a minute ago.
Lex who?
Lex Luthor.
Okay, that guy. Well, I'm gonna have to rewatch this episode.
Yeah.
Said nobody.
Any other personal favorite Spider-Man runs?
No,
Besides the classics?
Personal
Well, I
Spider-Man
mean-
runs is a different question than what he's asking.
Early
Round
Ultimate,
Robin.
I like.
Lester
Maximum
tweeted.
Carnage.
Let me read his tweet exactly as it says.
Okay.
Bryce. And
Please
please
do.
listen to me.
Okay.
Please do.
Listen to the
I
words
always
coming out of
do.
my mouth.
I
I'm
always
really
do.
enjoying Zdarsky's run on Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Any recommended Spidey runs similar in tone or any personal favorites?
Personal favorites: Ultimate Spider-Man and Round Robin.
So what is your favorite? So those are like the 6 Spider-Man issues I own, or the Round Robin issues.
Fucking brilliant.
Round
Because
Robin and
of-
Ultimate Spider-Man are amazing
Because the new Warriors
runs.
are in it. That's why I own them.
Amazing
Superior Foes of
runs.
Spider-Man.
I just said Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Yeah, are you?
That's why I said it again.
That is.
Maximum Carnage.
Wait,
Yeah.
keep going.
I do love Maximum Carnage.
You're a Spider-Man.
Maximum Carnage was a ton of fun. That was great. That's good times.
It's a very different story, though.
Sure. I mean, I know Scott's all about the classics.
Yeah, I do like the classics. There's some other, I liked the very original Clone Saga, which would have been Amazing Spider-Man.
What are you talking about?
No,
what do you mean you like it?
No, original, which is like 139 to 150.
Oh, okay.
Like OG.
OG Jackal.
Yeah, OG Jackal. That was pretty good, and it leads into some good stories after that.
Yep.
So the storytelling was good there. First time Aunt May died was good.
Well, spoiler level 3,
I
Scott.
know,
I mean,
right?
you know.
Was that the wedding? The Doc Ock wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craven's, is it The Last Hunt?
Last Hunt.
Last
Oh,
Hunt
yeah.
was fantastic. I loved Last Hunt.
They just put out a hardcover that's.
I think it's coming out. Yeah, I don't think it's out yet.
Okay, here's a
scared me
follow
for a while.
up question. Does Kraven show up first in a Black Panther movie or a Spider-Man movie?
Black Panther.
I mean, I would say Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man character. I don't think he would show up in a Black Panther movie. He could, but he kind of
Well, he. I mean, like second
like
to
hunting through
Spider.
the jungle or something. Or
Second to
weird.
Spider-Man, isn't he like have most appearances in Black Panther? Second only to Spider-Man.
Raven?
Kraven.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe he's fought him once, but I have no idea.
He's fought him more than once, my man.
Okay.
You need to read more Marvel comics. They're better.
Either way, I think if you total up the amount of times he's been fighting Black Panther and Spider-Man wins by far.
Yeah.
Right, but if you total up the percentage of times that he showed up in comics attributed to each of their names, I would be willing to wager, which is venture and wager, that Black Panther has an equivalent percentage.
Of what?
So you're saying
Spider-Man?
because there's that many fewer
Kraven?
Black Panther comics?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's like saying the one issue of Speedball.
Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat.
When he fights
Doctor Doom was in there.
When-
Doctor Doom is the greatest villain of Grumpy Cat.
Look, I'm just saying that the percentage of
You heard it here first.
Mustache Hope
Your
Man
logic
showing
is
up
wrong,
in Smallville.
Bryce. Your logic is wrong.
I've never heard that
Hey,
before.
that Grumpy Cat comic is pretty damn good.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, I have number 1. First
Dr. Doom.
first
Grumpy Cat versus Doctor Doom.
So, does Thanos show up in
I would totally buy that, actually.
in an
Grumpy
Avengers
Cat.
movie first or a Grumpy Cat movie first?
Well, he's the next villain of the Grumpy Cat arc.
Anyway, Higgins is just
Shaking his head.
I mean, I'm looking at a chronological list of every appearance of Kraven the Hunter, and there's not a single Black Panther comic in here. Like, what are you thinking?
what
Black
I'm thinking
Panther?
is that I play Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Do you think Kazar?
And
Are you thinking Kazar?
Nope.
Love Kazar.
I also love Kazar, and that it stands to reason that Kraven would be a great villain for Black Panther because
he never has appeared.
He appeared in more comics featuring Dead Girl and Ecstatics than Black Panther.
Yes.
I literally think
that
the-
comic can go fuck itself.
I don't think Kraven appeared it. I think he literally appeared in like one.
Well,
Black
it's a missed
Panther arc.
opportunity.
Well, missed opportunity is the exact.
Prey.
I think it's the one with Deadpool. I think it's the Deadpool. I think it was like Deadpool, Kraven, and Black Panther. I think it was that crossover. Like, I'm pretty sure those are
There
the
is a
issues he
huge
was
missed
in.
opportunity because he is a jungle hunter and he's hunting the underbrush and he's looking.
So our good friend Tyler,
Yes.
says a question.
Tyler
says,
Willis or Tyler Willits or a different Tyler?
both of those, yes. He says, with things like Batman TMNT, the upcoming Injustice He-Man crossover,
What?
DC Comics and Looney Tunes.
Wait, go back. What?
The upcoming Injustice He-Man crossover.
It was just announced.
Yeah. He says, lol, what? He says, lol, what?
Try to keep
for
up,
the Injustice
Toby.
He-Man. What other crossover would you like to see DC do? What's coming up? We have more DC Looney Tunes crossovers coming up.
Yeah.
That'd be very fun.
Yeah.
Injustice He-Man?
I want Justice League Teen Titans Go crossover.
No.
I want the Teen Titan Go characters to come into the DC universe and team up with the Justice League.
What about
Hell
if the
yes.
Justice League went to the Tiny Titan school and their principal was Trigon?
That's Tiny Titans.
Right. How about Tiny Titans instead?
Tiny Titans Justice League crossover. No, I want a Teen Titans Go crossover Justice League. Oh, I mean, it's so good.
What about if we had a crossing between two universes? A crossing between two universes and had the Tiny Titans and Teen Titans Go team up.
Good, that'd be great.
Charlie?
No.
They didn't? Really?
No.
Fuck, I thought he showed me that episode. I guess I was dreaming that
No.
one.
They had the episode where they were with the Powerpuff Girls.
Did you show me that?
Probably.
Well, if I seen that, I must have seen Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go.
Yeah,
and
the
Teen
Powerpuff Girl
Titans
one's a
Go.
good one. Any other crossovers?
Whoa,
No?
whoa. Stuff happening on the TV.
Ryan's
eyes.
He was like, "Whoa!"
No. My favorite
Is that still
crossover.
the same episode? This episode I really have to go rewatch out. It's got Henry Cavill in it for some reason. It's got like naked Lois, and it's got like
Okay, anyway. I'm just saying that Kraven would be a great villain for Black Panther. It's a missed opportunity that they don't have any crossovers with him.
Okay,
So
do you
what
want
on earth was this question we're trying to answer?
what DC crossovers would you like to see?
What DC crossover?
I want to see that crossover.
I said Teen Titans Go Justice League.
Okay, I want to see a Lois Lane Catwoman crossover. Not joking.
Did you read Batman?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And
they just did that.
No, but they haven't had like a crossover. They had like one issue.
And also, this is more like DC, something not DC.
Yeah,
related.
totally not DC.
Not like Marvel either.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see like Booster Gold and Doctor Who.
What about the Legion of Superheroes and Star Trek?
They already did that.
They did?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they already did Star Trek and the Green Lanterns.
I have the X-Men / Star Trek comic at home.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Bryce back on.
Pick.
What's your pick, Toby?
Gambit and Nightwing.
Let's get Bryce back on track here.
I'm back, baby. What do you got?
Let's talk about something that will get his attention.
What do you got for me?
It has been announced that
Did you mean to say Brock or Brooke?
It has been announced that Josh Brolin's
I like this already.
Is that Steve Brule?
Cable character is part of a 4-picture deal, with Deadpool being one of the films, and I'm assuming X-Force being the second. What other projects would you like to see Charlie's favorite character in next?
X-Force 2,
How
X-Force 3.
dare you troll me with such a deceptively alluring question?
That's the tweet.
That's somebody tweeted.
Well, somebody obviously that damn autocorrect will get you every time. I've never heard it.
So I'm assuming it's
Bryce with Charlie, but
I'm assuming it's Deadpool, X-Force. Those two are happening.
Deadpool 3.
No, Deadpool, X-Force, X-Force 2, and Cable, or X-Force and Cable and 2, or Cable and Cable 2.
It's going to be X-Force 1, X-Force 2, X-Force 3.
No, what's going to happen is he's going to be such a popular character, just like John Bernthal and Punisher. They're going to fast track his original solo movie. His solo movie, and then he's going to be an X-Force by sort of default. But then they're going to be like, you know what? Just like Punisher season 2, yet to be announced. It will be announced. They're going to fast track that mother, and they're going to be like.
So you're thinking Deadpool 2, X-Force, Cable, X-Force 2.
What if they could do
either X-Force 2 or Cable 2 is going to come faster than you can say
Yo mama.
or Ryan Reynolds.
What about Cyclops and Phoenix in the future?
Doing hanky-panky.
No,
Yeah, but they don't need Josh Brolin for that movie.
Well, doesn't he have
What they
Doesn't he have-
Sinister.
they'll CGI Josh Brolin's face on a baby.
they should do the
what
Cable.
about Executioner song?
No. They need to
So-
go
They
with that.
should do the Cable where he's hopping through time with Hope, and then Deadpool
no,
can make
you're
an
right.
appearance.
They should do Executioner song.
That would be so sick.
Because then they could use him in one movie
Like
in
Old Man
2
Logan
roles.
Well, even more than that,
That'd be so sick.
I do think if you have Deadpool 2, you have X-Force, and then you have
Leading into
You'll have a solo
either
Cable.
a solo Cable or an X-Force 2. I don't know. It depends on what they want to do.
Then what's the fourth one?
But
Executioner
you do Executioner song to do the big sort of event bridging
so how about
everything
this?
back to...
How
That's
about
a
this?
Marvel
How about
cinematic
this?
post Phase 4 event. That's not
Deadpool
like a
2, because
Well,
how many
this is
movies
all
for?
whatever their original plan was, because at this point, all their
You get
plans
3
could
more,
go
'cause
out
he's
the
already in
window
Deadpool 2.
because of the
No,
Fox
it's 4, including
Marvel
Deadpool
deal.
2.
actually
4 including?
That's what I
uncharacteristic.
thought it said.
Is it 4
Uncharacteristically,
including or 4 total?
Ryan doesn't care anymore.
Deadpool,
2.
What about
2.
X-Force?
X-Force.
Second Coming
Yeah.
with Hope?
2 more.
And 2 more, right? So it'll
I
be
can't-
either X-Force,
Toby,
and
microphone's over there.
X-Force, and Executioner song.
No, you guys are idiots. It's going to be Deadpool 3, Cable 1, and
There's no
X-Force.
Deadpool 3.
There's going to be Deadpool 3.
There will absolutely be a Deadpool.
No.
Yeah, of
No.
course.
But I
It is
don't
not
think
often
they-
that Higgins
No.
and I agree. The
No.
stars
No.
say
No.
that when Higgins and I agree,
No.
it is destined to
No.
come true
You're
because
wrong.
it happens so
No,
infrequently.
You're wrong.
There will be a Deadpool 3.
No,
I'm just
you're
not
wrong.
convinced Cable will be.
You're
And
all
Charlie
wrong.
agrees with us.
You all wrong.
What does Ryan want to do though?
Ryan wants to do No, he wants to do X-Force.
Well, I mean, have you read his blog?
Yes.
Whoa.
I've read his Twitter, not his blog.
Wait,
I
but
didn't
are we-
realize people still blog.
Wait a minute. Let's be real. Are we talking about Ryan Higgins right now?
No, the other Ryan. The more famous, more handsome one.
Damn it.
The one from the movie
So
The
close.
Waiting. Have you guys seen that movie? It's fucking excellent.
It's called Waiting.
Yeah,
It's
Waiting.
not The Waiting.
It's not the
It's just Waiting.
We have one final question for tonight. It is the nerdiest of questions,
which was
this
the hottest
this
one?
is a maybe a little Scott. This is
I think
definitely a
small
Bryce and
one
Charlie
actually takes
question.
this one.
Definitely a Bryce and Charlie question, though. But Scott's
I'm
going
the
to
number
have
one
an
Cable
answer.
fan, so
And Toby, I know, is going to probably
your
be
answer.
excited, too.
What?
So
This
you
from-
and I are not excited at all?
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's Jordan. It's from Jordan. He says,
Jordan Fegley?
no. He says, question for the podcast. If Apocalypse grew up in Egypt and was one of the first mutants, does that mean that the gods of Egypt, such as Khonshu, Moon Knight, Kushnu, right?
Khonshu, you
Khonshu.
racist
Khonshu.
motherfucker. It's Khonshu.
Even I know that one.
Okay. And Ra,
By the way, can we
guy from the
mid
current
question?
arc?
Can we establish that Toby is way louder than I've ever been
No.
in the history of this podcast?
What are you talking about?
He's been way louder in the last couple episodes.
That's why I just
talking about?
levelate everything, drop those audios down. It's fine.
Yeah. Khonshu.
So
You're
does
wrong.
Moon Knight and Ra and the Egyptian gods know of Apocalypse? Has this ever been brought up? Does Moon Knight ever be like, oh yeah, Apocalypse? Yeah, I remember that.
Let me answer that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This is something that could get really filled out by Jeff Johns.
When he signs his
Correct.
exclusive deal for Marvel,
For Marvel to
which-
come over and
which-
fill out the backstory of Ed
Moon Knight?
Brubaker could do it too. He did it in Iron Fist.
Who asked this question? Tyler?
Jordan.
I just think everything's
Jordan,
Tyler
not
because
Megan.
Tyler's awesome. Jordan, listen, Jordan. The only reason you're thinking about Moon Knight and Khonshu, or as Higgins calls it, Canushu, is and
Khonshu?
Kooshball, fucking Higgins. The only reason
Yes,
you're
that's
thinking
what I
about
said.
Kooshball and Moon Knight and Ra is because of the recent Lemire run on Moon Knight.
Yeah,
and,
that's what he's asking. Yeah.
and the Bryson run. So, like, I think that is a great question. Marvel has not explored yet because it just happened with the Lemire run and the Bryson run. God bless Bryce's son. Is also very, very good and building upon the even better, I dare say, Lemire run of Moon Knight. And so I don't think that they've had enough time to sort of explore what may or may not have happened. I think that is a great point that is rife for
Well, they-
exploration and crossover.
Well, but I mean, ancient Egypt and the
this is-
Egyptian gods have always been a part of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Not, it's
Yeah.
different
Yes,
than in
they
this
always
arc.
have.
But they've never really he's had more single issues in the past year than he ever had in the history of whatever.
Yeah, but think about
That's a little hyperbolic, but not much.
it's pretty hyperbolic.
No, he's on issue 80. 20 of those issues have been in the past
Are they 80?
year and a half.
I was going to say renumbered as they did their legacy number.
Yeah,
That's why.
when they went back to renumbering.
Yeah, they're
Because
probably
he
up
had
to
like a
20,
couple
yeah.
6-issue runs and like one 12-issue run. And
No, there was a long. What the hell are you talking about? Moon Knight went like 100 issues back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Then
have 'em.
wait, what? Why is Moon Knight?
I have them.
Moon Knight's at like at 180 something.
I have
now or
them.
Oh, is it 180, not 80?
Yeah,
have
yeah,
'em.
yeah.
All right, look. The point is that
Stop where you're talking. Stop where you're talking.
Yeah, that's what my wife
and
says.
think,
Bryce doesn't know anything about
Bryce, stop where you're talking and think of
I
how
mean, he only
great
owns-
this could
I
be.
would like to know. I would like
He's
to
just
know
missing the first
how
appearance,
this. I would like to know how this would all tie in with Avengers.
that's
10,000
true. I do have the
BC.
whole run.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
it could.
No, you
Could.
don't. You have the whole run of Werewolf by Night, not Moon Knight. Dumb fuck.
Jesus.
That's super aggressive.
That was a little aggressive.
Anyway, I do not believe they've ever had
be
Moon
sorry.
Knight and Apocalypse. Although that does seem like something they should.
George. At the end of the day,
Moon
that's a
Knight,
great area for exploration that they should do.
Maybe Apocalypse and Moon Knight were drinking buddies back in the day, and Moon Knight just got so fucked up he's been fucked up ever since.
Possible.
They're just
That's the most likely
they have
scenario.
not told any stories where it would be relevant to bring up that connection. But
I
Yes.
just think how
As a-
great it could be.
yes,
How
as-
great could this be?
Yeah,
as
it
like,
would be
flush out
amazing.
Moon Knight like the superhero he should be.
Oh my God, you guys are so off the walls. Moon Knight is not the god Khonshu. He was only influenced
He's like,
and given
yeah,
powers by
correct.
Khonshu.
No, nobody-
there is nothing about him being a reborn Khonshu.
Nobody
no,
here
truth.
said that he was Khonshu. He was
But you're talking about him.
We
being
only said
drinking
he was
buddies back in the-
Kanudushu.
only Brock was saying that.
Only
Nobody
Brock
is
was
saying
that. The rest of us were not.
nobody's saying he is Khonshu, but he is influenced by Khonshu.
But for the record, everyone liked that idea.
Hadn't
No. Everybody
No.
liked the idea of filling out a background between
Yes.
Kooshball and Ron.
well, the idea of
Hey,
Moon Knight
Gooseball,
being.
is that part of Gold Balls and
I mean,
Speedball?
Yep.
there's
And
been
Grumpy
multiple
Cat.
characters. I mean, they don't have Moon Knight set up the same way as like
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, like they didn't go quite that crazy with him, but I mean, the idea that other quote unquote Moon Knights could have existed
Ding,
Agreed, but
ding.
they've never approached that.
Yeah,
They've never approached that.
And it's worth mentioning that this whole like back mythology that could be way more well dug into has only existed since the Lemire
You
run.
know who could do it? Scott Snyder could do it.
And the explanation between,
Tom King,
because that's
Jeff
why
Johns.
he's crazy.
Yeah. No.
He's crazy because it goes from
He's only crazy in the
Spectre
last few
to-
years. He wasn't crazy. It was just broken.
He was
He was broken before that.
He was
yeah,
broken.
but I'll take it. It's a great. I love it.
But he's
It's a
always,
great-
he's always had dual identities.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
always been.
He's always a little
So
wacky.
it could be because they could fill out the backstory. This is why. I mean, it's you share your
the same thing
conscience.
it's the same thing as, like,
conscience
Dr.
with a
Fate, right?
Former Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Same thing as
Kinda
Dr.
cool.
Fate.
I'll take that.
with the
I can
helmet.
go with that.
It's, I think, very similar to how Jeff Johns recreated Green Lantern to be so much better than he was because he took this mythology that was quasi deep and it just exponentially expounded upon it.
To say, look how big the hole
and-
really is.
And again, they did
Exactly.
It's the same thing as they did with Lemire did with Green Arrow, and Brubaker did with Iron Fist.
Well,
and
Snyder did with Swamp Thing.
Snyder did it with Swamp
and the
Thing.
red and the
Yep.
green and the gray. And
you just fill out a solid character and give it more depth. It would be, that would be potentially huge for Marvel to think
So to
about.
answer the actual question, they have not done it. It is a great idea that they absolutely should do.
so are we still saying?
I
are we still
don't-
saying drinking
So if you're
buddies
still listening.
in Egypt?
No.
So I don't disagree that they should establish it. I'm just not sure what they would do with it in a story form with,
Tie it in with Avengers 10,000 BC.
but
No.
the whole idea of tying it in with Apocalypse in sort of modern day doesn't necessarily fit.
Well, he didn't say modern day.
No, but I'm saying they could absolutely acknowledge the fact that they're aware of Apocalypse. I just don't know what you would do with that connection.
That'd be fun to explore, though.
I think that this is much more of an idea that is, by the way, we should definitely explore Moon Knight's past more, and there's infinite possibilities for Apocalypse cameos and or arcs to be included in some sort of antagonist capacity of a Khonshu related Moon Knight story.
It's like DC's done a lot more with the immortal characters in the past decade or so, where these characters that have been around the DC universe for such a long time that they've been using them more and showing somewhat of their history. Demon Knights did that with
Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
Well, back to the better comics, which is Marvel Comics. Yes, there are many opportunities for them to further expound upon the great potential that Moon Knight has that they've only recently scratched the surface of.
There you go. And that's a podcast. That was one hell of a podcast. Thank you, everyone, for your questions.
This is a family show. Ians.
Yeah, right. Have you met Toby?
I'm very family friendly. Just ask all the families that invite me to their houses all the time.
Invite you, or you just show up?
I could just show up.
And thank you once again, Tyler.
Yeah,
for
thank
this
you.
amazing
Oh,
guest.
dude, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
Wait. Don't do that. Too much. Way too much. Thank you very
we're gonna
much.
get spoiled.
We have to thank our good friends. We have to thank our good friend Albert Soy. He's got his app Camby, which Scott's giving me a look.
It's not pants everywhere now. Plants.
It's everywhere.
Pants everywhere.
Well, you got to.
Plants.
Everywhere on Camby.
It's an app that shows you where you can buy
Pants
pants.
everywhere on Camby. Download that app. Get some comic
It's an
books.
app where
If you've got
where
no
it will
pants,
show
you gotta put them
where You have
somewhere.
to wear pants.
And that pile is where you're going to find
I
You're gonna
don't-
download Camby.
I think they stopped their $5 extra
From
credit
Black Lightning.
when you purchase
Black what?
when you
Lightning?
purchase a gift card through Comics Conspiracy. But it might still be up. $25 gift card. You get $30 in
Oh,
credit
the
for
sign's
Comics
still up on
Conspiracy.
the-
The
Wait,
sign's there. If you
Free
buy it through
$30
Camby.
bucks?
If you buy it through Camby.
Really?
Extra $5?
I lost my
$5,
password and
not
can't
$30.
get on anymore.
What?
Yeah, I can't get on anymore.
I'm sure there's a reset password link on
there
the-
is. I got to try it
Okay.
again.
Just call
How about Sam
Albert.
Che?
Just call Albert. He'll just give
What?
you a new password.
Julian Titus has the
Darn
Nerds
it.
Without Pants podcast
pants.
at pixelbit.com. Go check out his podcast.
No,
Ryan
no
Hess has
pants.
Blowhards, the video game podcast, blowhards.libsyn.com, not T. Liberated Syndication, LIBSYN.com.
Remember when I used to be this guy?
Jody Lawson has cannoned the Triad Comics anthology at triadcomicstudios.com. Go check their comics out there, as well as Sam Shea.
There we go. Talon Bray?
Craig Anderson.
Damn it.
Joe Duff.
What about Talon Bray?
Andrew Nelson Mendez. And our good friend over at the Manga Machinations, Star Fox 8. So thank you guys so very much for your high-tier donations.
Sorry, man.
That's all right. Maybe it's on the monthly podcast. We're going to shout out. It's all good. People come and go. Doesn't matter. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com is where you can go find all our previous episodes. Geekbox.net and iTunes. Give us a review if you can. It's always helpful.
If you guys can kick in a little more per week/month, Toby will read the names every week.
No, we do a dramatic reading of Rogan Gambit.
Number 3.
You be Gambit.
Okay,
I be not
me.
Rogue.
You can be my rogue share.
No.
Mon cher. Rate and review if you can. The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net is where you can go to send us some long-form questions if you would like. Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy. Kick us $1 or $2 or 10 or 25 or 50 or whatever you want on there. It's get your names read, plug your plug, get some free comics, and help us support this podcast. Pay for hosting, pay for the wonderful. What the hell we got today?
Pizza My Heart.
Pizza My Heart pizza we got today.
Jesus,
thank you very much.
Fuck.
Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. No more 99-cent Marvel graphic novel sales on.
Is that your doing? I was so good about buying all of those fucks and giving you your damn 2 cents, and you stopped it. Why'd you stop it?
Buying all the what?
Why'd you stop it?
What did you buy?
A whole bunch of fucks. Why is it funny?
I
was giving you free money that I would have not given you on a normal basis. I give you my normal money on the fucking physical books and on the fucking trades and on the fucking toys.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, sure. You fucking only went on fucking Twitter and complained about it, and now I can't buy my dollar trades anymore.
Yeah, they really care about the one copy of cable graphic novel I got this week.
Well, 2, because Charlie bought that too, and we bought the physical from you anyways.
ConspiratorBrock.com. That's Brock's blog and video
He's not even addressing it.
Go
it's
check.
his fucking fault. It's your fault. I gave you 2 fucking cents and all that fucking shit. You had to go stop it for one reason. I still buy the physical shit.
It needs to be on Comic Hub.
It's not fucking. It comes with no free code in the damn book.
Toby, you gave me 14 cents per purchase. Okay, let's get it straight.
I gave you a lot more than that because I saved like $100 and something each time. So I bought a whole bunch of trades.
Does Toby lose his stuff? Does he lose his shit at the end of every podcast?
Delirious.
This is what people have to wait for. It's for Toby.
Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast.
I'm still mad.
That is Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wife, Leanne. That is her Etsy store. Go on there and check out her stuff. Pick up some prints.
You need to explain yourself, Ryan Higgins.
Ryan Higgins. Ryan, that's me. I'm on Twitter, stopping the Marvel sales. Brock is Brock Sager.
What Marvel
am I doing on Twitter?
Such a Marvel hater.
Bryce.
What am I doing on Twitter?
Posing in front of comics.
Yeah.
Bryce is Larsen Bryce. All he does is reply to me.
Sales too now?
Toby is Toby XI. He forgot his password and hasn't logged in like 6.5 years.
It's very true.
I think it's saved in the computer here.
Oh no. Is that who answers?
Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. Charlie just doesn't post too often. The store is ComicsCon store. Occasionally I remember I run that. Scott is CS Shea, right? Yep. Jim is LD Exterminator. He yells at me on Twitter about a bunch of stuff.
All caps?
So he comes in like normal, but yells at Ryan on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's actually the real way of doing it, because I come in here and yell at him in real life, and he completely ignores me, and then he goes on Twitter and fucking says something on Twitter.
And you can't answer because you forgot your password.
Yeah. Fucking Twitter, fuck Comic Hub, fuck all this internet shit, fuck Facebook. I don't know what else is there. Instagram, all of that. Bad news. Come in person, yell at Ryan.
You can't yell at Comic Hub enough.
It's the entire internet. Comic Hub, Instagram,
social media.
All of the internet, you and Comic Hub in that
Fuck
order.
Google.
What about the dark web?
Geekbox,
I'm sure he likes the dark web.
Comedy
Marvel
Button,
Puzzle Quest.
Manga Machinations, and the Infinite Binge on YouTube. Those are some other little podcasts and videos on our network. Go check those guys out.
Toby, the internet gave you Wolverine's butt.
I've still got another. Campbell gave me Wolverine's butt. All right, let's be clear on that shit. That's going to be on by like 5 covers. Higgins is going to sell hundreds of copies of it because he already ordered it, not knowing it's going to be Wolverine's butt.
Thousands.
I still have like 3.5 hours left at the store here, so we're going to wrap up, end this podcast. We got some pizza to eat. We got some Nothing But Cake to eat. We're going to sell some Action Comics 1000. See you guys
I've
next
touched
week.
a lot of action today.